everybody, it's Michelle, and I wanted to talk to you today, just give you a little story. You'll get to get more and more of it as we go along, but more than most often, I always get asked the question, how did you lose 100 pounds? How did you get started in all this? And you know, a lot of people, like when they come to boot camps and all, they look and they go, yeah, well, you're fit, so it's easy for you because you've been able to do your push-ups on your toes forever. No. And in all honesty, you should see me when I'm doing my own workouts in the gym, which is right out that door. Yeah, I cry like a tiny little girl when I have to do a whole bunch of push-ups. And that's my confession to you today. But I'm going to talk to you today about one of the facets of my career and how I got started in fitness. And so this is just a little anecdotal story that people really love to hear because it's very important that you realize we're all human. And everybody starts somewhere. And there are people who have been fit. They were raised in a fit family. I'm trying to raise my children in a fit family so that one day they can say, you know what, this was a no-brainer for me. I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have to think about it. Fitness was just a part of my life. And that was not how I was raised. So I struggled with weight my whole entire life, and we'll get into that one later. But when I was probably, 34, so when I was 25, my yoga teacher, who I had just gotten involved with, came up to me and she said, you know, you would make a great yoga instructor. And I was like, seriously? Because I was like 200 something pounds, but really flexible. So I went to the teacher training and I was incredibly shy. I mean, you have to get up and you have to, you know, run people through poses and come up with a whole string of class, and you have to talk, and my voice was quivering and shaking, and I made it through that. And I actually stumbled into a job in a gym. Cute little girl was my boss. She gave me a shot. She took a huge chance on, you know, the out of shape girl. And my very first night, it was a brand new gym that had just opened locally. My very first night, I taught my yoga class. I was all happy. I had my cute little clothes, you know, I went in flip-flops and whatnot. And at the end of my class, here comes my boss, and she runs up and she comes and whispers in my ear, our kickboxing instructor's sick. Can you do something with them? And panic and shock flooded my system because at this gym they had a stage. We were required to wear mics, and I was still kind of shy. So when I turned the lights on and people started coming in, because it was the 6:30 crowd, and if any of you do gyms, you know the 6:30 crowd is a heavy crowd. So there were roughly about 60 to 80 people in that room. It was a huge aerobics room. And I got up on the stage and I mustered up the confidence to tell them that the kickboxing instructor was sick and that I was going to be doing something with him. I said, I'm normally the yoga instructor, but we'll do something. And at least 40 people just walked out. I watched them just right out. And I didn't cry. I went ahead and found some music on my iPod, and we got to going, and we did a bunch of jump rope and a bunch of jumping jacks, and I huffed and I puffed through the whole thing. But there were people that stayed, not a lot. There were, in the end, about 23 that actually stayed, and I think it was more out of sympathy than anything else. But after that night, I went ahead and I went to group training to get my certification in Les Mills Body Pump, in the group ride, all of that. Certifications nearly killed me every time I went. Body Pump in particular, you know, it's a weightlifting class. You have to do a lot of squats. You have to do a lot of push-ups. All of my push-ups were on my knees, and I wanted to cry when it was done. But the whole point of this is, you know, now I do kickboxing just about every day. I teach ongoing kickboxing classes. I come up with my own choreography. I love it. But prior to my little boss running in and giving me what I thought at the time was terrible news, I had never tried kickboxing. It was scary to me. I mean, I'd watch like the Ty Bo infomercials and all, and those people look crazy. So this, you know, was out of my comfort zone, and now it is my zone. That's how I identify myself. That's what I do. That's who I am. And so if you're kind of toying around, I mean, maybe kickboxing is not your thing, and that's cool. But if you're kind of just going, I don't know, I've never been fit, or maybe you were a high school athlete and just kind of lost that, when life got in the way, and you're thinking about getting back into it, but it just doesn't seem feasible, I'm living proof that you can honestly start anywhere. I started at the very bottom of the barrel. And so it's important to just go for it. Go for it. And you take what life throws at you and you mold it into what you want it to be. I mean, when life hands it to you, it may not be quite right. And so you work with it. And if you're like me and you love kickboxing, you pound it into submission. If you like walking, then you trudge your miles until you get what you want. And I promise that any fitness goal that you have is achievable if you really, really put your heart and mind to it. And I would love to help you with any of that. Click the link below. It's got a free blog that's got all kinds of nice little things and some free workouts for you and all of that. Nutrition tips and whatnot. So just check it out and see what you think. And I hope you have a healthy and fit day.